Hi ladies, a post-retreat video very quickly just to share some of the abundance of the experience. First of all, everybody walked away feeling amazing. They all loved being in the space. They all enjoyed having that tranquility, the space to heal and think and process and feel. But also having a small group on this one, I had the opportunity to observe people, their everything from the words to the gestures to the triggers to everything. And I loved the fact that because it was a small group, everybody felt so safe that everybody opened. And this is not the first retreat that I run, and every retreat I had an absolute joy in seeing this happen, because there is always a very safe space where people just open up and share. And I think women need this, we need it because we don't have the outlets all the time. We don't have the platforms all the time to truly be available to our feelings and available to each other. And going away on these setups, in these retreats, allows that to happen. So it's a beautiful thing. And it just really brought me a lot of joy to see this unfolding. I felt it was really magic in the making, and so very grateful for that. But something that came up a lot through the processes, through the discussions, through the talks that we had, and we had very informal sessions for everything because the group was so small, and I could see that all they needed was the nurturing, which came in the form of food, which came in the form of practitioners coming to do massages and acupuncture, and really just enjoying also communal meals with some of the practitioners. The acupuncturist, I invited her to come and have some meals with us. She's also a friend, so it was nice to have her there. And I saw that the things that came up a lot were very much in association with trauma, which even I think it opened up even more after the ladies had the therapy session with or the presentation with Sarah. Sarah is the therapist that I invited to do the talk about trauma. She talked about the big T, the small T's. Small T's are impactful because they occur actually quite frequently, but they also are more like in the frontal lobe. We are aware of them and we can, address them quicker. And the big T's are the subconscious part where like we grew up with them. And I came to realize how many I have personally of these, of some traumas that were facilitated by my caregivers. But also understanding that this process, which is generational, it wasn't because I had bad parents, because we were bad people. I had bad parents because they didn't know how to do the job as parents. And quite honestly, most parents don't know how to be parents because we're not taught. A lot of us are not taught, and I think it's new that now there's more people talking about how to be a parent, how to create boundaries. We went through like the strict parents that were like wooden spoon on the butt, which I was also getting a lot of because I was a bit naughty, to the let's be friends parents. I actually had both, and none of them work. The violence is hurtful and makes you, and it's ingrained in fear, not in education. And the other side, being friends, your parents are not your friends, and when you are not having these set boundaries, it gets complicated in the relationship with the parents. So there are these two polarities, and now we are in the middle where we're talking about how to actually communicate with our kids, because they have personalities, they have feelings, they need direction, and so on. And hopefully more and more parents that are educated can be good parents. But I realized that I had a lot of abandonment issues, and therefore anxious attachments, as well as avoidant attachments. But the anxious attachments come through when I feel abandoned, when I feel somebody is abandoning me. And that truly is something that a lot of people feel. And I know my mom felt that. My mom felt abandoned from her mom. She went into boarding school really, really young, and I think she was just not mature enough at that age to be in an environment where you didn't have your parents, the nurturing, the care. My grandmother was at a business, she was working really hard, she couldn't facilitate. And when my mom had me, and she was then a parent, she hadn't worked on her trauma, and also she didn't have the tools to be a good parent. So it really unraveled in that. And I think once you learn that, you learn to have a lot of grace even for your parents, even if you don't get along with them, you don't really see them, you don't, whatever it is the situation. If you are in a position where you not only forgive them, because I really worked on clearing any hostility, but also with the forgiveness, also being able to be in a relationship with them, that's brilliant. At the moment, I'm still working on the triggers that my family causes me, and I want to see what they come from. And so as I pursue that, I decided not to have a relationship with my family as such, but they're fine, they're healthy, they're safe, and that's all that matters. So those things they come up when you're trying to really heal and grow and ground and do all the work that needs to be done to create the awareness, around everything. And I feel that we really can take that step and be more graceful with ourselves when we know that we have to look and heal traumas. But also acknowledge one thing. Our nervous system wants to keep us safe, and to keep us safe, the nervous system will try and go for what we're familiar with. And if we're familiar with certain traumas, we will choose those traumas. So the hard part is to acknowledge that we have the trauma, but also not to choose it, and to choose a very different path, which will feel equally hard, but leads to happiness, because we're not familiar with that. So those are very healthy practices, and there are tools, and seeing a practitioner, like a therapist that can help with tease the traumas, I think it's very beneficial for everyone, because at some point we all have them. I know my inner child feels very strongly that I need to be safe and not abandoned. And me as an adult version of that little child, I have to monitor and accommodate and modulate the reactions, and try to really get back to my inner child and say that we are safe. So it's a very interesting process, and I think all the women on the retreats felt the same in their own traumas, and in their own experiences. And I must say, I also felt that there was a lot of things that every woman had in common, we all have in common, especially when it comes to men, which is down to the patriarchal, not growing, not available emotionally, not educated, violent masculinity, which we have to absolutely stop, not by being feminist, but by being feminine, and allowing them to understand that they also have their femininity within, and they have to work with it. And it doesn't make them less manly, it makes them more manly. So it was a very powerful retreat, and I will be doing more, and I will be doing more also with other practitioners, amazing practitioners. I don't want to spill the beans now because we're just conversing, and with other people that really want to heal others and want to bring in truly the very holistic approach to women's health. Because ultimately, I think the retreat will shape to be a holistic medicine, integrative. So we will have the emotional part, the food, the HRT will have to be part of it at some point, because as I get practitioners that understand more and more of this, I think we need to have these conversations and allow women to really feel empowered. I shared the story, or the very short video with Tracy, one of the clients, because she was incredibly gaslit by the system when she went in her perimenopause, and equally now she's not served for her health needs. We see the issue. All right, guys, I wanted to share a quick 10 minutes video just to say this. If you want to know more, make sure that you follow me on Instagram, on YouTube. Make sure that you comment, you share, you email me if you want to, and subscribe to my newsletter, which will begin. I know I've been saying it for months, but I just feel like it needs to be very enriching. And so I don't want to just share things because we have so much to read right now. I'm actually thinking about starting a Substack because because it would be a nice platform to do open sources as well as more bespoke subjects in newsletter form. So guys, have a great day, and